How to save your first $5,000. Today's video is going to be on how to save your first $5,000. I remember the first time I ever tried saving $5,000. It was probably one of the hardest things I've ever done because I was just working a lot, but at the same time, you also want to spend your money. You also want to spend that money. So it was probably one of the hardest things I had to do. And when I reached that milestone, I could tell you, like, first time I ever looked at it, I saw 5,000, bro. I was shook. My first thousand it wasn't anything crazy because I kind of knew it was gonna hit, you know, because after a while I was working and I just saw it. I'm like, okay, it makes sense for me to hit it. But 5,000 was the milestone that I saw, and I was like, okay, like I really achieved something. I think for a majority of us who are pretty young, saving your first $5,000 almost feels impossible, especially when you're young, right? You have bills, you have money that you're giving out, you have things that you want to buy. So you have a lot of things that are going through your mind that you want to accomplish, but at the same time you know you have to save. Right? But here's the truth. Your first 5,000 is the hardest money you'll ever save. That's the first milestone. When you hit it, you're going to be like, "Oh my god. Like I finally hit 5,000." Like, and you'll see it in your bank account for the first time. Not because it's a lot. It's not going to be the hardest amount of money because it's a lot, but it's because it brings a sense of discipline and structure and actually being consistent with saving your money, right? And that's a habit that you have to grow into, right? Being disciplined, being consistent with saving, and having the discipline to know that every time money comes in, to not just go out and spend it, but to actually take that money and preserve it and save it until you hit that milestone. If you still don't have $5,000 in your bank account right now, at least if you have 500 or 600, I'm going to show you step by step on how to get there, how to save 5,000. Before we talk strategy, you have to understand something. Your first 5,000 isn't just about the money. It's proof that you can control your spending, stick to a plan, and delay gratification, right? These are the three things that you have to understand about saving 5,000. Or once you want to get to the next milestone, 10,000, those same rules apply. Control your spending, stick to a plan, and delayed gratification. Delayed gratification just means delaying everything that you might want in the moment for later. That sense of gratification that you have right now, where you just want to buy things and make impulse purchases, you can delay that. If you can delay that, that's a superpower that many people don't have. So if that's something you can build in yourself, you'll be someone who can hit that $5,000 milestone as soon as possible. Most people never hit that $5,000 mark because they treat saving like it's an afterthought, and they're not actually intentional with the amount of money that they're saving. In 2026, you need to create a system, right? You need to create a saving system, and not a goal, but an actual system that you can put in place to reach that milestone. Once you hit 5,000 once, you can do it again, which means once you hit 5,000, then you can build up another 5,000, and that could be 10,000, and then you could build up another 5,000, and that could be 15,000. You just have to get into the habit of building systems and creating a way to hit that first 5,000. So where's this 5,000 going to come from? This is where people usually overthink things. It's going to come from your job, obviously. The income that you get from your job, it's going to come from that. You don't need a higher paying job right away. You just need awareness on how you're spending your money. The first thing you need to do is track every dollar for every month. Track every dollar, every week. Track how you're spending your money. Most people find an extra $200, $400 just by seeing where their money leaks are. Eating out, subscriptions, impulse spending, buying stuff you don't need, right? These are all the habits we fall into that causes us not to hit our milestones. Once you find these leaks, these money leaks, like eating out, subscriptions, buying a new pair of shoes every month, you can redirect your money to your savings account, right? It's not about making more money. Yes, that's going to come later. You can start making more money, but you have to break down the bad habits that you have. You have to find a way to break down the bad habits. Then ultimately, breaking those bad habits, you'll turn those into good habits. And then once you build that 5,000, you'll be able to hit a 10,000. You'll be able to hit 15,000 just because of those good habits that you've been building over time. If you can save $100 a week, that'll be 5,000 in about 12 months. If you save 200 in a week, that'll be 5,000 in about 6 months. So you just do the math and see how it works for you. And then you understand what system you can create, what saving system you can create that will help you and that will be beneficial for you, the amount of money that you make every month. So for me, here's a system I would use in 2026. I have a high yield savings account with SoFi, right? But I would open a separate high yield savings account, not the same bank account that I have my checking account with my regular checking account where I make my daily transactions, but a separate high yield savings account where you're getting an interest rate of 3.5% or 4%, right? And you're inserting this money, you're taking this money that you're saving and you're putting it into this high yield savings account, which means this money that you're saving, it'll be out of sight, out of mind, right? And second, that means you're automating your savings. Every time your paycheck hits, you take that money from your regular checkings account and you transfer it over to your high yield savings account, and you don't have to worry about that specific high yield savings account. And it's just compounding over time, and you're just saving until you hit that $5,000 mark. So the most important thing you have to understand is to not save what's left, but you spend what's left. Not saving what's left basically means not taking all the money that you make and going out and spending whatever you want on everything and then coming back and then just saving whatever was left. If it was $50 that was left, that's what you're saving. No, you have to have a plan first. Take that saving money first and take that money and save it first. Then all your other expenses or everything else that you wanted to do, all the bills that you need to pay, go out there and pay them. But take that saving money first and make that a priority. If you want to hit this mark, if you want to hit this milestone, that's the first thing you have to understand, right? Basically see the savings amount that you're going to put into your high yield savings account as a bill. So you take that money out, and as soon as it touches your account, that's the first thing that you do. You redirect it to your high yield savings account without even having any second thoughts, without having any plans for that money. But that's the only plan that you should have for that money. Direct it into your high yield savings account. This is a more of a psychological thing, but I want you to name this account, right? So if you use SoFi, it allows you to name your account and what it's for, basically. Whether it's you're saving for a marriage, whether you're saving for a car, it allows you to name whatever the fund is for. So for you could put 5K fund account or emergency fund, freedom fund, whatever it is that you want to name this account to psychologically help you reach this milestone. You can do that, right? Name it whatever you would like. Whenever your money has a purpose, you're less likely to touch it. So whenever you see this money going into this account, you know, okay, I have this goal of reaching 5,000, and that's the only thing you're going to ever see. Every time you open this account, you're going to see $5,000 fund. And every time you open this account, you're not even going to feel like taking money out because you want to attain this goal so bad. You just want to reach it. This system removes emotional and willpower from the process, right? It just allows you to better invest and automate your savings and push that money into your savings account without actually thinking about withdrawing it or taking it out. Saving $5,000 isn't about speed, but it's about momentum. Most people can usually do it in 6 to 12 months without extreme sacrifices. What matters isn't about how fast you save it, but it's that you don't quit halfway and you don't give up, right? That's the most important thing. You don't quit and you just stick with the process and being intentional with everything that you're doing. I would advise you to create kind of like, if you have notes on your phone, everybody should have notes on their phone. If you have notes on your phone, kind of create a plan on how much you're going to be saving every month, right? How much you're going to be saving, how much you're going to be putting into the high yield savings account every month to reach that goal. If you want to hit that mark in six months, create a plan for 6 months. If you want to hit it in 8 months, create a plan for 8 months. Whatever amount of months that you want to attain this milestone, create a plan for that. So it's easier for you and you could track the amount of money that you're putting and you could be more intentional about the process. The moment you hit, I promise you, the moment you hit $1,000, you'll feel completely different. At 3,000, your confidence really changes, and that's when you start actually realizing, okay, yeah, I could actually hit this. And it's not something that just started as a goal. Obviously, at first it's going to start as a goal, something that you want to accomplish. But as soon as you start seeing that money actually rack up and come in, your mindset's going to change and you're going to be like, okay, this is something that's actually achievable. Like if I continue being consistent and intentional with how I'm putting in my money, like putting in every money every month, I can actually attain this. At 5,000, you'll have finally hit the mark, and you'll actually feel a little financially free because now you hit this big milestone that you were trying to get to, and now you can create a new milestone. You could try and reach $10,000. So if you did $5,000 already and you already accomplished that, the next best thing is 10,000. So that's the next milestone. If you want to save your first $5,000, you have to understand to not make certain mistakes. There's certain mistakes to not make. Don't invest this money. I know I talk a little bit about investing, how to start investing, how you should start investing, but this is kind of like your emergency fund. This $5,000 I'm telling you to save up is kind of like your emergency fund. So I don't want you investing this money because that's gonna kind of take away and deter you from actually reaching this goal as fast as possible. So this 6-month plan that I'm helping you complete, or 4 month, 5 months, however long that you create this plan for, you should not invest this money. This money is just for your savings, and you should find every way possible to just consistently hit those marks that you set for yourself every week, whether you get paid bi-weekly or you get paid weekly. Hit those marks. Whatever you're putting into your savings account, $200, $300, make sure you're actually putting that and being intentional with it, right? Not investing because we want to hit this mark as soon as possible. You don't have to tell everybody about this plan, right? There's certain people you don't have to really tell people, because this is something that's personal, because this is something that's personal to you, and this is an accomplishment that you're trying to reach. This is a goal that you have set out to reach. So you shouldn't be telling other people about your plan, because it could deter you, because people will start hearing, oh, you have this amount of money that you're trying to save up, and then they'll come ask you for favors, right? People are not always here to help you. Sometimes they try and take away from you. So your best bet is to keep this quiet and make it a personal goal for yourself. And absolutely under no circumstances touch this money. Don't ever touch this money. Do not touch this money unless you need it and are in a dire need for this money. Do not touch it. Build that discipline. That's because that's something you need in life, in anything you're doing. Discipline. So allow this to be like a goal, a plan for you, something that's going to build your discipline, something that's going to allow you to build discipline over time, right? And as soon as you hit that mark, you'll see how discipline plays a big part of reaching these milestones. Being consistent, having discipline, and being intentional are all parts of hitting these milestones. Your first 5,000 is your financial foundation. So I don't want you investing. I don't want you telling anybody. I don't want you ever touching this money until you hit this milestone. Hey man, if you're at $100 right now, $200, $300, it don't matter. You can still hit this milestone. If you don't have 5,000 saved up yet, or you don't have $50 saved up yet, you're not behind, bro. Trust me. It only takes 4 to 5, 6 months. Work as hard as possible. You're actually early, if anything. Saving your first 5,000 is how you stop living paycheck to paycheck, and it gives you a sense of financial freedom. And you start thinking more long term. Now you have this $5,000 net. You basically created this nest for yourself, right? This nest that you've created for yourself, where you can breathe a little bit. Now you can breathe, and anything on top of that money that you make, now you can create a plan. But you know this $5,000, you already have it, and it's your egg nest, right? It's your egg nest. You can always come back to rely on it later on. Thank you for watching this video. And if you found this video informative and educational, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe down below. Thank you.